This is Tracy Mills of Visit on Earth, and you're watching The Drop at Barneys on Highsnobiety.
Hi, I'm Jeff Carvalho from Highsnobiety.
And I'm Jackie Kim of Barneys, New York.
And we're here at The Drop at Barneys on Madison Avenue in New York City. We're here with Tracy Mills from Visit on Earth. Thanks so much for being here, Tracy.
Thank you for having me.
Tracy, we are so glad that you're here. I mean, your story is one of my favorites, so I would love for you to give Highsnob just kind of the laydown of how you got here and what you're all about.
Wow, how did I get here? I was first born, so I had a long journey from fashion, from Von Dutch to Ed Hardy. I was blessed to work with one of my best friends, Kanye West, through his journey, and then I recently broke out and created my own brand, which is Visit on Earth, which for me it's like an extension of who I am and what I stand for and what I've been through in life, and eventually where I see myself before I leave this planet as a visitor on Earth. So it's all about me just giving back and messaging to anyone that's following my brand and that believes in what I'm doing.
You've worked with two lines that you mentioned earlier, of course, Ed Hardy and Von Dutch. They were big leaders in street fashion for some time, and things of course evolve. I'd love to get your take on sort of the evolution of what street fashion has been through your eyes.
Wow, it's funny, it's like the evolution is spreading across cultures for me, and really it's just, there's more eyes on the culture, meaning, 2018, eyes are everywhere. So now it's like you can't hide the fact that the street culture has probably the most influence to me on the planet. And, the evolution is just that it's touching everyone, and to me that's the work of God. It's like we're all this family, and I love that street culture is going across the board, no matter what your ethnicity or what your religion is or anything,
Your brand, Visit on Earth, is sold here at Barneys, and I think it started off as a men's brand, I believe.
Yeah.
And now it's evolved kind of into this really hot women's wear brand. All the girls are wearing it. I'm wearing it today. I love it. What do you think it is about your collection that speaks to this female audience?
I honestly can't say what that is. I can't speak for anyone else. All I could say is that I'm just being true to what I see, what I want to bring to the game. If someone gravitates to it, that's a blessing, And I also understand the influence of the friends I have, for me, the product placing on friends. And I also pay attention as a creative, like, I do have my friends in mind when I'm creating. Like, I know a lot of my friends' aesthetics, so I'm like, well, this look good on, Bella, well, this look good on Kendall, well, this look good on Sophia. Like, I do create that way, because I understand the platform. And I don't do it because I'm trying to be the best brand. I'm doing it because I want to create a bigger platform so I can speak my message to whoever follows the brand. So I'm strategic in that way. I'm not strategic in the way I want to be the best. I'm the greatest designer, I want to sell the most. It's not about that for me. It's just about what's the true soil behind the brand. So I'm very conscious of that. And a lot of my brand comes from what I grew up on. So for me, it's very nostalgic, and I'm paying attention that this generation is very much in love with the 90s, and that's my era. So for me, it's just paying attention to the things I grew up on and just putting a new twist to it. And, the thing to me that changed from the 90s and now is the silhouettes. So this is, the difference is that for me, so I'm conscious of that. And yeah, that's kind of the perspective behind it.
I'm also a child of the 90s, so I totally understand what you're getting at. One thing that we talk a lot about on Highsnobiety is how women in general have really started to push streetwear forward. What I mean by that is we're finding, for some time, women have always picked up on the men's garments side of it. I'd love to get your take on, exactly where that's going. Do you feel that the women that buy your collection are looking for something that's much more tailored to something more feminine, or are they really kind of looking for that fit that you find on a man?
Again, that's perspective based. I just think, in general, for me, I study women more than anything, and when it comes to fashion, I think, women take the most risk. I think women are just super creative with the way they dress, and I don't think there is a woman out there saying, to me, like, oh, I want to look like a boy, or I want to be like, I just think women want to be comfortable, and that comes in all forms. You know, it comes in a slim silhouette, it comes in a baggy, and then that, to me, is what I love about women's fashion, you know, is that you can't put them in a box, you know?
Absolutely.
And I also think men are paying more attention to that, because when I was coming up, like I said, in the 90s, everything was oversized, especially for men. And I think now if you look at men and you see they're more fitted, I think that comes from the man being more comfortable in their skin. You know, I think a man is more, when you see someone in a slim fitting, like denim, that's truly their actual size, is because they're comfortable with
Sure.
the way they're shaped.
That's a breakthrough.
It's a breakthrough, yeah. And to me, that's, you know, that's within self. And I like that. I like seeing someone more confident in themselves.
So looking back at this past year, are there any designers or collections that have inspired you, or kind of that you've been drawn to?
I don't follow a lot of brands,
Okay.
you know, because I don't like to, if I study someone else or pay attention to them, I feel like my creativity morphs off its path. So I do a lot of vintage shopping. I pay attention to vintage a lot. But I would like to say, you know, I'm proud of certain people. Like, I'm proud of like Virgil and Off-White. I'm proud of Heron Preston and his brand. I'm proud of Jerry Fafiri. These are my boys.
Right.
And I know where we come from. So for us as a crew to be in Barneys is like a dream come true.
You're surrounded by a good number of brands here. You've mentioned some of your friends here that are showing with you. Exactly how important of a moment is it for, you know, for us all to be here and connecting through Barneys for an experience like this?
For me, it's priceless, because the best thing about this for me is just walking around and meeting people. And for people to come up to me and say, like, I love your brand, and then I can spark a conversation with them and just connect with. I like to feed off people's energy and frequency. So for me, this experience does that for me. And that means the most to me. That's why I create, to connect with people.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Tracey, thank you so much for coming
Thank you
and
for
sitting
having
with
me.
us.
And you look amazing, by the way.
You look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. You look good too, brother.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.